Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly, and I'm here with your Hammers headlines for Wednesday, the 6th of November, run in association with KUMB.com. So today we are going to be addressing some claims made from Amorim about how close a deal really was with West Ham, Everton's injury crisis update, and an update on an interesting new player that we have our sights set on. So without further ado, let's get started. West Ham Network. So up first, Amorim has come out with some rather unusual comments, to be honest. Now his future has been secured with West Ham. You don't often see someone sign a deal with a club and then go back and start talking about the past and rumours and history and stuff. But he's done a new interview where he essentially denies any links that put him in a conversation with West Ham about the role of new head coach. He's now insisted that he was never close to West Ham, saying, "I went to England, but I didn't go to negotiate, only to meet the owner. I had made my decision to stay at Sporting. If you think I wanted to leave last year, there's nothing I can do about it." Now, he's obviously trying to distance himself from us, which is cool, but it just feels a little bit odd saying that he would get on a plane, travel to England just to tell Sullivan that he doesn't want to work with us. Obviously, that could be a phone call, that could be an email. He could just tell his friend and that message could be passed along. So it seems rather extreme to get on a plane, come over to East London just to say, "No, thank you. I don't really want to do anything with you guys." It's been a bit of a mad turn of events, and he definitely appears to have put his foot in it a little bit at times, from needing to apologise to Sporting fans who he upset to saying things like this when he'd already agreed to take over at Man United. So perhaps we've dodged a bit of a PR bullet, if nothing else. Excuse the little door buzzer then. Now, up next, we have got some injury news for Everton ahead of Saturday's game. Everton look as though they're going to miss several key players with a rather depleted midfield, which I suppose isn't the worst news as we go to prepare to play them. Everton's Decore, first of all, was sent off injured against Fulham, and he missed their last game too as a result. Sean Dyche has told the media that he doesn't think it's too serious. However, he has missed a lot of training in the last week and said he was just too sore to be able to work at full capacity, meaning he was in fact rested. So he could well be back for the weekend's game, but he will be coming off the back of a lack of training and trying to recover. So it'll be interesting to see if he does play, and if he does, for how long. But that would be a big miss for them if they don't have him. James Garner has also missed their last two matches with a back injury, and Dyche has confirmed that this is going to be a longer term injury that's going to see him out for longer than a month, meaning he's likely to return in December and therefore should not be playing against us at the weekend. Armando Broja, we've heard that name many a time. He's another one. He has returned to light training this week after ongoing foot and leg injuries, which have stopped him featuring at all this season. And it doesn't look as though they're going to be risking him this early. So again, he's not likely to feature in Everton's side. Tim Arogbunam also has a foot injury, which Dyche has said he's waiting for it to settle before they can even assess the full extent of the problem. He's got no set return date as it stands, but based on the fact that they can't even assess the issue till it's settled, usually that's when there's something like swelling. I doubt he'll be playing. And finally, Yusuf Chamiti is another striker of Everton's that hasn't been able to play this season with a foot problem. Many a foot problem at Everton, it turns out. It's thought that he could return to their side in late November as it currently stands. So that's another one that's unlikely to feature against us, but that return date is somewhat closer, so he could be one of them, and it's going to be a massive game. Like we said, we've spoken about it already, must-win games. We've had many of them over the years, but this does feel like it's going to be a bit of a turning point where we'll either paper over the cracks for a little bit longer, or we've run into an international break off the back of a loss to Everton, and it could mean that the board do change things sooner if they think that there's something that we can do there. So it's going to be interesting. Everton, of course, lost to Southampton at the weekend, and they drew with Fulham before that. So they're not having a great run of luck at the moment. And we've said it before, and we'll say it again. It feels like a bit of a six-pointer that definitely could determine a very large portion of our season this weekend. So a big game on the way. And finally, John Texor has confirmed that we have been in contact to speak about the potential signing or transfer of Botafogo's Igor Jesus. So we know that reports suggested a £30 million offer for the Brazilian international player, but Textor made it very clear that no decision is going to be made about anything to do with him leaving until the Brazilian season concludes, as the player remains focused on his current club. So he's also spoken very positively about the player, speaking about how much interest there is from clubs. So we wouldn't be alone in making an approach for him. But he said, Igor is the prototype of a perfect striker. He pivots, moves, positions himself behind defenders, runs, is dynamic, and has finishing skills. Now, of course, he would say that anyway. But if that description of him is accurate, at the age of 23, I believe he is, I'd like to think that this sounds like a very solid option for us to pursue in the upcoming transfer windows to help us address that striker situation. But let us know your thoughts. Would you like to see Jesus sign for West Ham? Let us know down below in that comment section. So there we have it. That is all from me for now. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. If you're new around here as well, make sure you subscribe. And if you fancy treating yourself, you can, of course, get a YouTube membership for the West Ham Network, which gives you access to prize draws every month, weekly podcasts, exclusive content, and much, much more. So we don't want you to miss out. If you do fancy that, give it a go. Let us know what you think. But until then, have an amazing day. Come on, you Irons. Irons.